Hi everyone, it's Win. It is Saturday night, about 9 o'clock Eastern, and this is going to be a little bit longer of an update because I need to talk about a lot of stuff with the entire race going on right now. So I'm going to start with talking about the general race situation here on the tracker, back things up a little bit, forward things a little bit for everybody. This is the start of the racing fleets today. This is about 2 p.m. after all the fleets have been off, and you'll be able to, if you watch a racing fleet, you'll see Arete gets spit out the front along with Earth Voyager and a similar boat, and then you'll see sort of the big boys in Mostra, Wizard, and WinQuest popping out in the front also. But it's hard to say much more about the racing fleet right now. They're following the rum line up in what seems to be a decent southerly breeze. But they're like the peloton in the Tour de France for anyone who watches bike racing. It's a whole bunch of people all together, kind of, and we don't know who's gonna sort it all out yet. Plus, the faster boats are going to start slowly pulling away from the slower boats and so forth. And so, not a lot to say about the racing fleet other than really what I just said. You'll see forwarding into real time, we got some boats beginning to jibe back towards the coast of Wisconsin. Jibing is just sort of the opposite of tacking, what we talked about last night. If the wind is coming from this direction, from the south, the sailboat's got to pick a side of the boat for the wind to come over. So we can go this way, right? And we can go this way here, and the wind will be coming over the starboard side of the boat, and we're going to be on starboard jibe, or we can go this way if the wind is out of the south, and we're going to be on port jibe. We can't go straight downwind. It's unstable. It's slow, all kinds of stuff. So when you see something like this, let's watch Arete. It's very, very easy to see with Arete. They approach the Michigan coast and they turn. They're changing the side of the boat that the wind is coming over. That's a maneuver called the jibe, and we'll talk about jibing. Up at the front of the cruising fleet, Infinite Diversion did in fact go through the Manitous. I was watching their speeds as they went through. Again, I was thinking maybe I would want to be out here, but Joe Haas has won a lot more of these races than I have. But he is still, it appears to me to be in some kind of southerly winds. We'll maybe look at that in a second. Maybe a little bit of rain in the area, going 7.9 knots. He's starting to think home stretch here. He's got this last about 60 mile or so stretch to Gray's Reef. Make a right-hand turn at Gray's Reef, and then it's about 20-some miles to the finish. So he's hitting the home stretch. You can see the cruising fleet is stretched out back here along, we talked about this earlier today, that's Big Sable Point right there. That's Point Betsy right there, and here's Manitou Passage right here. So the whole thing is about to change, though. And let's just talk about a couple of things. First is I want to talk about thunderstorms. So earlier today, I posted a series of images about these storms right here. And you can see when they came off the coast of Wisconsin, they had a severe box around them, special marine warning. Even this storm right here looked like a little gnarly out there, but as you can see, they're going over the lake. Had a nice conversation with Chris Bedford about this. As they've gone over the lake, there's a really stable air mass over the lake, and they're not getting sort of the moist air, warm air that they need to continue to fuel. So you can even see with the storms that have recently come off that they're just kind of fading. I mean, they look really nasty coming across the Door Peninsula here, and then they really, really fade out fast. So we are feeling, there's going to be weather impacting the fleet. It's good that right now it doesn't appear, using my words cautiously, appear that we're going to get a lot of severe storms hitting the fleet, but we're keeping an eye on that. The cold front that I talk so much about, it's pretty easy to see here. Let me see if I can find, it's really right behind the line of storms. You can see the winds are generally from the north in this area. And the winds are generally from the west or southwest in front of it. So that's our cold front right there. Again, when we were talking about Infinite Diversion, they're kind of in this neighborhood right here. So here's the north winds. They're just sort of on the north shore there of Lake Michigan. They're not far away from making it to them, I would say. So we will see maybe Infinite Diversion change back into more of a beating kind of operation going into the wind like they were last night. Rather than off the wind like they were today. And again, most of our cruising fleet is sitting in this area right here. Remember our landmarks of that's Little Sable, Big Sable, and Point Betsy's kind of covered up, and the Manitous are kind of covered up. But that's where most of the cruising fleet is, and they're going to get hit by north winds also. And the racing fleet probably around midnight tonight, 1 o'clock, something like that, maybe a little earlier for the big guys that are up in this area right here, are also going to get hit by the north winds. Now, I want to talk about the north winds. I haven't been talking about them much, and there's a method to my madness because I wanted to get through this front passage before we talked about Sunday. So this is 1 o'clock on Sunday, and again on this, just to give you guys a little orientation on this, here's where our front is, right in this neighborhood right here is where our front is. North winds behind it, south winds in front of it. Ish, that's not bad. It may be going a little faster than this right now, actually, is the way I'm seeing it, but whatever, close enough, right? Okay, so we've got north winds in the 20 knot range to the north of this front, okay? And that begins at 1 o'clock-ish on Sunday, right? And then if we go down to 7 o'clock a.m. on Sunday, now the front is all the way past the lake now. It's down here, sort of right there, right? You'll see there's north winds across the entire lake, and they're up in the 20 to 25-ish knot range. Wow, that's right. Oh, that's a lot. And then that's 7 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 hours later, still 20 knot, 25 knot winds, right? And then 6 hours later at 7 p.m., right? Still 20 knot winds out of the north. And then finally it starts to ease off and starts to veer a little bit. So it starts to go to the right a little bit as this high pressure system approaches. And gets down into more of the 15 to 20 range and sort of turns a little bit more northeasterly. But what all of this is doing is creating a situation. I'm not going to show you a lot of these, but this is a wave forecast. So this is for 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central tomorrow afternoon. And these charts you read a little bit differently. The barbs are backwards on these charts, but this is saying that there will be wave heights coming from this direction. The light blue bar is 6 or 7 feet. And I was just looking at the local forecasts of the National Weather Service offices, but we're talking 6 or 7 foot waves. That's 2 p.m. in the afternoon tomorrow. And then if we fast forward to like 8 p.m. tomorrow, I think I got that right. Yeah. So, so that's 9 p.m. tomorrow. And you can see there's a piece in the middle of the lake here of like 7, 8 foot waves. Now, I think a lot of our fleet's going to be north of that, but there's still 3, 4, 5 foot waves that we're talking about here, which is a lot, right? The good news is they're going to die out on Monday. The bad news is my expectation is that we're going to have a rough day tomorrow. Boats are going to be going through a lot. I'm sure everyone will do their best to stay safe, stay clipped in, but it's going to be a day of active weather with the winds sustained, for 12 to 15 hours, kind of in the 20 knot range, and waves that are, 5, 6, 7 feet tall in some cases. So I want everyone to be ready for a busy day tomorrow. I don't want anyone to be alarmed about it, but as I sort of have been hinting at while I've been posting here, we've not really seen conditions like this on a MAC race in a couple of years. It's only one day. Monday's going to be actually very light winds, and the seas will calm quite quickly, but we haven't seen anything like this for some time. So there you have it, and thanks for listening. I will be watching the website for another hour or two tonight, the Facebook page for another hour or two tonight, making sure those storms die out, and look forward to any questions, comments that you have. Thanks. Bye.